Alright, thanks for joining us in round 4. We're on the draw, but I don't really like this hand. We have 2 draw steps to hit a land, and then... Actually, we actually have 3 draw steps to hit 2 lands. Or like a Preordain or double Fairy Miscreant, but I don't think that's quite enough. I think those odds are pretty bad. This is a... I mean, this hand is not great, but at least we're hitting all our land drops, so we have some removal. I'll put Cliffs on the bottom. We're likely to draw something between now and then. Like the great thing about this hand is that like Seagate Oracle helps us hit more lands. Okay. So Nettle Sentinel indicates either elves or mono green Stompy. The Llanowar Elves cements it for elves. Opponent doesn't have another land, so I think I want to actually kill this Llanowar Elves here, and then play the Guildgate. This lets me, like, if I draw a counterspell, it lets me Flame Slash plus keep counterspell up. If I play this island here, whereas Boilerworks would not let me do that. And there we go. Alright, so I'm just going to keep our opponent off of mana by Flame Slashing this Fyndhorn Elves, and then trying to Spell Stutter their next 1 mana play if they don't draw land. Yep. That worked out just as we drew it up. And now we can ninja. Here's hoping we draw land so we can Spell Stutter Sprite again. We didn't. If our opponent wants to race, I think we can race really well. I'm just going to bounce the island, keep up Lightning Bolt. If they don't play anything, I'll Lightning Bolt the Nettle Sentinel, but otherwise, I'll just let it through. Alright, they don't play anything, so I'm going to Bolt the Sentinel, which clears the path for the Ninja to keep drawing his cards. Alright. I can either play Oracle and Sprite here, or just Muldrifter. I'm going to go ahead with the Oracle plus Sprite plan, because they'll probably have more 1-drops. Another Sprite is great. We can just stop a 1-drop and then stop a 2-drop. Alright, well, it's fine. They can draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and Bolt before blocks. Like, the more this Ninja connects, the better chance we have to win the game. And then I guess I'll bounce the Izzet Guildgate, just to keep developing my mana while holding up these Spell Starter Sprites. It's really a matter of just how many times we can connect with this Ninja. That'll be the deciding factor of this game. And so I don't really want to, like, just throw all my creatures on the board. Like, we get to develop our board while countering their stuff with those sprites anyway. And I'm just going to attack first. Just keep getting more information before I cast my spells. Alright. Yeah, so our opponent's dead next turn because of this Lightning Bolt. And the Flame Slash, actually. We might need both. Opponent just concedes. Yeah, there's no way they're gaining traction on that board anyway. Okay, so we care about Electrickery, and that's basically it. And Dispels are really bad. It's a pretty straight up swap. We get to keep all our removal, all our counter spells that actually hit things. Let's go. Muldrifter isn't a great card against elves because it's slow and clunky, but it is a flyer, and if we need to dig for like Electricry, if we're kind of far behind, we can always use it as just a divination for 3 mana with Evoke. Okay. This hand has some removal spells, some counter spells, and a way to clock them. I'm going to keep, especially because they mulligan to 6, so these burn spells are going to be more effective than they normally would be. What are they playing? Alright, well, we don't really have a decision point here. Just play the Guildgate and pass. Opponent has a second land this time, which means that things are probably going to be a little harder. This is a morph. Which means Birchlore Rangers. I think I'm going to keep Bolt up rather than snap off this Flame Slash. They might play like a Lissalana Huntmaster or something. And the fact that they played Birchlore Rangers face down indicates that they probably don't really have a bunch of cheap spells in their hand to like storm kind of go off into. Yeah, so here's a 3-drop that I'm going to Lightning Bolt. And I'm going to Preordain just to hit my land drop here. I don't need another Preordain. Boilerworks is okay, and then I'm just going to Flame Slash this. No, I'm going to save Flame Slash. Opponent's shown that they have a bunch of expensive cards in their hand, so we'll just wait and kill them when they come down. Like, we'll kill the next one our opponent plays, and then try to hold up a counterspell if we can. Izzet Boilerworks is just super awkward in this deck. Alright, we're going to Flame Slash, play Guildgate, and like hold up Spellstarter Sprite. Even if our opponent doesn't play something that we can Sprite here, we'll still flash it in order to Ninja of the Deep Hours. Another Morph. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that was converted mana cost 0. I should have just countered that. I haven't played against Morphs in a while. And I just wasn't thinking. I'm like, oh, they tap 3 mana. We can't counter it. Yeah, we can. That was bad of me. We should still be fine. We can Ninja plus hold up Spellstarter Sprite or Counterspell, so we're definitely not in a bad position, no matter how you slice it. And we have another Sprite. We are getting clocked pretty quickly, but Seagate Oracle can kind of stop that. Visionary is fine. It doesn't really add to their clock very much. Like, I don't want to spend mana that isn't flashing Spellstarter Sprite in if I can avoid it. If they play something that's really impactful, then I'll deal with it, but otherwise, no. Yeah, so I'm down to 8. This little 1/1's fine. Fairy Miscreant and Preordain let us counter pretty much anything with Sprite next turn. Or, yeah, on our opponent's next turn. Let's lead with that. I like both of these. I want to draw the island first so that I can cast actual counterspell if I need to. Gonna crack in for 2 damage. We'll draw into the counterspell and pass the turn. So opponent only has 2 cards, but they didn't really have anything last turn, so we're just going to sit back on our laurels. Probably block. I'm going to block 1 creature, and then so I can still Sprite for 2. The Elves deck doesn't have a ton of 3-drops. Alright, there we go. We'll grab that one. Just tag it while we have the chance to prevent us from getting too low on life. Alright, Muldrifter's a good draw. I'm going to start by attacking with probably everyone because I have the Seagate Oracle in hand. Alright, so they block. which I'm not actually a fan of here because I'm so far ahead on cards that they really just want to try to crack back for damage and try to eke out the last few points before I can stabilize. See, this lightning bolt is great. I mean, I don't think my opponent was gonna be able to do that anyway, but they definitely just don't want to start trading here, even if it's for a ninja. There's no real sequence of draws that get them there. Alright, I can just chump block. Or, not chump, just brick wall it. Like, that attack doesn't do a single thing. Alright, I'm just gonna counterspell this. So I don't have to deal with it later. Yeah. I'm gonna attack with everyone because I'm playing another Oracle. Just like, press down on the gas a little bit. Another counterspell. I don't need another Muldrifter. I'm like hard pressed to cast the first one right now without another land, so being able to cast 2 counterspells in a turn will be nice next turn. But this game is pretty much locked up. Oh, especially because my opponent has another land. Alright, we'll get the Morph off the table now. We draw yet another counterspell. Alright, seems good. Attack with everyone. Pass the turn. I have 4 counterspells. My opponent will have a maximum of 3 cards before they're dead. Game is over. That's getting nullified. I suspect they're about to concede. No? Alright, well, I will even gain a life to slow their clock down by another turn. They're down to 3, and we're going into the final stretch here. Alright, opponent concedes. You know. So that match was pretty academic. Our opponent got stuck on lands, and we were able to capitalize on it in game 1. And then game 2, we just had enough interaction that our opponent wasn't ever able to stick a significant payoff card. And my miss with the Spellstar Sprite countering the Morph just didn't matter. Because they flooded out a little bit, but they still drew like 9 spells and 6 lands. So even if the other 2 cards in their hand were lands, they still drew more spells than lands. But like basically it was kind of reverse opposite games where game 1 they had like very little mana and a reasonable amount of payoff cards, but they couldn't deploy quickly enough, and we were more fluid and had higher velocity than them. And then game 2, they got some payoff cards, but again, they didn't have like they ended up flooding out, right? They ended up like not having enough payoff cards. The only 2 they really saw were the Bowmaster and the Huntmaster, and the Bowmaster isn't even that much of a payoff card. It's just like I mean, it's really good in this matchup, and it's a great sideboard card, but it's not gonna like win the game on its own. It's gonna slow me down a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the final match.